ProTalent and I'm Nitin Parmar. My dear students, ProTalent brings to you this wonderful module called Read It Right. Very intellectual, you can say very much systematic way to learn the reading material. दोस्तों, I'm sure you know in CLAT or IIM, IPM kind of examination, it is very important for you to have a good speed. Okay, now speed is not about reading speed, but the speed is about understanding speed. आपका कॉम्प्रिहेंशन कितना तेजी से होता है, आप कितना जल्दी चीज़ों को अंडरस्टैंड कर पाते हैं, ठीक है, वो समझने के लिए वी हैव टू एक्चुअली गो फॉर लॉट ऑफ नेट प्रैक्टिस, ठीक है, जहाँ पे हम डिफ़िकल्ट पैसेजेस पढ़ें, उनके अलग अलग टर्म्स टर्मिनोलॉजी समझने की कोशिश करें, हम समझें कि पूरी आर्ग्यूमेंट में क्या मेन आइडिया है, उस आर्ग्यूमेंट में क्या यू कैन से एजम्पशन है, क्या उसके प्रीमाइसिस है, अगर ये समझ पाए तो हमारा फायदा होगा. सो दिस मॉड्यूल्स आर नॉट ओनली यूजफुल टू यू only for you can say English, but they are also useful to you in your critical reasoning or logical reasoning. I hope it is very clear. Great. So dosto, these are the series of Read It Right module which are going to come, you can say 3 times in a week. Okay, they are going to give you a lot of benefit. Okay, चलिए चालू करते हैं दोस्तों आज की कहानी. Okay, so what is this Read It Right all about? What we are going to do is we are going to pick up an article from Hindu newspaper. Initially, I'm going to start with the Hindu newspaper. Slowly, I'll be moving towards, you can say, some other area like Indian Express or you can say Times of India, or possibly I may go to the, you can say, difficult level like the Guardian and the New York Times, okay, or the Economist. Those kind of module will be done. Okay, so what are we going to do is we are going to learn the art of reading. Okay, this is very important. Art of reading. Yes, you heard it right. ठीक है, reading is an art. ठीक है, where you have to read slowly, where you have to stop, where you have to move forward. ठीक है, where you try to connect with the previous information. That's very important. ठीक है, so दोस्तों ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. ठीक है, so दोस्तों यहाँ पे हम सीखने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या मेन आर्ग्यूमेंट है. ठीक है, how do we identify flaw in the argument? Are there any important GK or current affair issues? And there are some important assumptions provided in the passage. We will try and understand those issues. ठीक है, चलिए. So दोस्तों आज जो हम टॉपिक लेके again से आए हैं, that is quadrilateral quizziness of the Hindu newspaper, that is of 7th March. आज का मजेदार सा एडिटोरियल कनेक्टेड टू दिस यूक्रेन रशिया कन्फ्लिक्ट. वहां पे इंडिया का क्या स्टैंड है. ठीक है, सो दे सेड क्वाड्रिलेटरल क्विजिनेस. सो व्हेन दे से क्वाड्रिलेटरल, वी शुड ऑलवेज try and connect it with the current affair issues. So we should know that recently there was a meeting took place of COD. In case you wonder that what is COD, okay, now that is really not a good idea if you wonder about it, because then it means you are not prepared for the current affair. But anyway, let me give you an idea. COD is a kind of, you can say, a cooperation between 4 countries. That's why the name is called COD, okay, which is America, Australia, Japan and India, primarily in the Pacific Ocean. ठीक है, when China is trying to become hegemony, trying to become powerful, ठीक है, so to oppose China we have this COD grouping. Okay, is that very clear? Great. So here the argument is coming that India cannot be forced to pick a side in the conflict, but Russia could test its resolve. Now this is very interesting, that obviously India will not be forced to pick up a side. Why? We are sovereign country, we are independent nation. ठीक है, nobody can be forcing on us to do certain activity. हमें कोई फोर्स थोड़ी कर सकता है कि ये करो, ये ना करो. ठीक है, एज एन इंडिविजुअल पर्सन आपके ऊपर कोई फोर्स नहीं कर सकता, ना आपके पेरेंट्स कर पाते हैं. तो भैया ये तो कंट्री की बात है, कंट्री को फोर्स नहीं किया जा सकता. ठीक है, हाउएवर रशिया क्योंकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा यूक्रेन में घुसने की कोशिश और वॉर टाइम क्राइम करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो अब इंडिया का जो रिजॉल्व है that we are, you can say, neutral at this point in time. We are abstaining from, you can say, giving any kind of support to any specific country. That resolve is basically being tested बाय रशिया, क्योंकि रशिया और ज़्यादा अंदर घुसने की कोशिश कर रहा है. Yes or no? So what we are going to do is we are going to read this article. When we read it, ठीक है, we are trying to find out what is the main argument of the passage, जो यहाँ से शायद पता तो चल चुका है, but better we try and identify what are the premises, how this premises will reach to this argument, to this conclusion, what are the various assumptions are being made, what is the purpose of the passage, what are the flaws in the argument, are there any important words. That's what we are going to pick up. Okay, so my dear students, working with me on this read it right is going to be a game changer. In a small, you can say, a time frame of some around 25-30 minutes, we're going to learn a lot of interesting things. Let's start. Okay, let's move a little faster. So first, what is the meaning of quizziness? Quadrilateral quizziness, okay, it is like a kind of feeling of doing vomit, okay, wanting to vomit. Okay, so it is physically feeling unfit. Okay, here the easiness is about our worry, our you can say our unhappiness. So quadrilateral quizziness about India, the chord is uneasy with India. Chord is not happy with India. Okay, chord is, you can say, feeling, you can say, nauseating about India. That why India is not saying anything against Russia. That is the entire issue. Okay, so in a way it is being forced on, you can say, India, that you must come out and speak something, you can say, against Russia. Very important point. ठीक है, सो दोस्तों यहाँ पे इंडिया का रिजोल्यूशन कि इंडिया किसके तरफ है और क्या मुद्दा करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, वो बहुत तगड़ी तरीके से टेस्ट हो रहा है. ठीक है, व्हेन इंडिया इज गोइंग इन द ग्रुप ऑफ कॉड एंड एवरीवन इज फोर्सिंग इंडिया टू टेक ऑन द साइड ऑफ यूक्रेन. ओके, सो दोस्तों बहुत ही मजेदार सी चीज है, चलिए समझने की कोशिश. So it is primarily helping improving comprehension. Even on the critical reasoning, you are going to improve a lot. Okay, let's start. Okay, so the argument starts like this. At a snap virtual meeting. So snap, very quick virtual meeting of the quadrilateral security dialogue, QUAD. So if someone will ask you what is QUAD, QUAD is a security grouping, okay, of 4 countries comprising of India, USA, Australia and Japan. The leaders discussed the crisis of Russia's invasion of Ukraine along with more traditional topics of interest for the dialogue. Now when they talk about more traditional topics, it gives us hint that look, COD is made for what purpose? COD is made for the purpose of, very interestingly, COD is made for the purpose of, you can say, having a, you can say, discussion on territorial and maritime security across Indo-Pacific region. So भैया Indo-Pacific region में maritime security के ऊपर बात करने के लिए कॉड बनाया गया है. That is the meaning here when they are using the word called more traditional. Okay, ये hint समझ में आना चाहिए. ठीक है, so they discussed about Russian invasion in Ukraine. However, they also talked about more traditional topic, which means that's what they've been talking about. That's what they've been generally focusing on. ठीक है, in the past. अगर ये मुद्दा नहीं होता, रशिया यूक्रेन का मुद्दा नहीं होता, तो शायद ये वही मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी के बारे में बात करते हैं. Is that comfortable? Great. In a joint statement issued after this summit, so we have to understand that every, you can say, such kind of meeting will end up by a common sentence, a joint sentence. Okay, the 4 nations reaffirmed their commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. Okay, this is once again giving us more hint that what is the original purpose of the chord. Okay, so if there is a RC question which is asking you to tell us that what is the kind of purpose of chord, you can very well find out this. Okay, in which the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of all states is respected and countries are free from military, economic and political coercion. So they reaffirmed this idea. What is the idea they reaffirmed? That look, that we as a group, we respect integrity of the states, we respect sovereignty of the state. Okay, we denigrate, we condemn any kind of military, political or economical, you can say, coercion. Okay, so what is the meaning of sovereignty? Sovereignty is samprabhuta. Okay, the word sovereignty means samprabhuta. मतलब क्या हुआ, हम अपने आप में गॉड है, हमारे ऊपर कोई नहीं है, ठीक है, हमारे ऊपर कोई फोर्स कर नहीं सकता है, ठीक है, हर एक कंट्री अपने आप में इंडिपेंडेंट है, ठीक है, उसके ऊपर कोई फोर्सफुली उसको गलत काम नहीं कर सकता, कोर्स नहीं कर सकता, ना पॉलिटिकली, ना मिलिटरीली, ना यू कैन से इकोनॉमिकली. एंड ऑब्वियसली एवरी कंट्री हैज देयर टेरिटोरियल इंटीग्रिटी, ठीक है, दे हैव देयर ओन टेरिटरी और उसकी इंटीग्रिटी है, दे आर इंटीग्रल, दे आर वन, ओके, दे आर नॉट डिवाइडेड, और कोई दूसरी कंट्री उनको डिवाइड करने के लिए मजबूर नहीं कर सकता. दैट इज द मीनिंग टू दिस. द लेटेस्ट कॉड मीटिंग वाज इन अ पार्ट likely motivated by the concerns of US, Australia and Japan that, okay, now this is very interesting hint, ठीक है, ये तो बैकग्राउंड दे दिया. अभी तक क्या बात हो रही थी, बैकग्राउंड के ऊपर. Now when you see such kind of article, okay, this is giving you a sort of background. Still the background is going on, ठीक है, पर उस बैकग्राउंड में एक छोटा सा एक ऐसे इंक्लिनेशन, एक छोटा सा डायरेक्शन हमें पता चलेगा कि ऑथर किस पर्सपेक्टिव से ये लिखने की कोशिश कर रहा है. यहाँ पे इन्होंने वर्ड यूज करा, द लेटेस्ट कॉड मीटिंग वॉज इन अ पार्ट यू कैन से लाइकली मोटिवेटेड बाय द कंसर्न ऑफ यूएसए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड जापान दैट इंडिया in not explicitly condemning Russian President, you can say Vladimir Putin's decision to launch ground offensive across Russia, Ukraine border and to bomb Ukrainian infrastructure. ठीक है, so this is very important. ये पूरा कॉमा वाला पार्ट अगर मैं मिस कर दूं, अगर मैं ना पढ़ूं और एक पूरी लाइन पढ़ूं, that is in a part likely motivated. Okay, look at this, what I'm reading is this. Okay, ठीक है, I'm reading this part. In a part likely motivated by the concerns of USA, Australia and Japan that India might not be on the same page as the other Quad members vis-a-vis this conflict. This is how you read. Okay, ठीक है, कैसे पढ़ा आपने? आपने पढ़ा कि भैया ये तीन कंट्रीज का मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव ये क्वाड में क्या था. उनको लग रहा है कि इंडिया इज नॉट विद द सेम पेज विथ the other three countries. What is the meaning of same page? Same page पे होना, which means they are in agreement. Okay, so you and I are on the same page with read it right. What is the meaning to this? The meaning is आप और मैं दोनों एक तरीके से समझने के लिए agreed है कि भाई रीड इट राइट इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि अगर मुझे पता हो कि ये आर्ग्यूमेंट कैसे फ्रेम हुई, उसके पीछे वर्ड क्या है, पूरा फ्लो कैसे बन रहा है, अगर ये मुझे समझ में आए सो आई विल बिकम लिटिल गुड. ओके, चलिए, वेरी गुड. सो ये समझ में आया, ठीक है. कैसे पता चला दैट इंडिया इज नॉट इन द सेम पेज? नंबर वन, दैट इंडिया इज नॉट एक्सप्लिसिटली कंडेमनिंग द रशियन प्रेसिडेंट. ठीक है, रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट ने जो ग्राउंड ऑफेंसिव चालू करा, जो इन्वेजन चालू करा, यूक्रेन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर अटैक चालू करा, उसके ऊपर इंडिया ने एक्सप्लिसिटली कंडेम नहीं किया. सो डज दैट मीन क्या यूएसए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया और जापान ने एक्सप्लिसिटली कंडेम किया? Yes, it tells that look, USA, जापान एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने एक्सप्लिसिटली कंडेम किया है अगेंस्ट रशिया. ठीक है, इंडिया ने नहीं किया है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे आर सेइंग दे आर नॉट ऑन द सेम पेज, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे माइट हैव केप्ट दिस मीटिंग एंड दे वांट टू सी कि क्या इंडिया बोल रहा है. इंडिया को प्रेशर करने की कोशिश करी होगी. ठीक है, दे हैव नॉट ओनली कंडेम्ड रशियाज एग्रेशन बट आल्सो हैव स्लैप्ड. तो यहाँ पे और बताया कि उन्होंने सिर्फ और सिर्फ कंडेम थोड़ी किया, दे ऑल्सो स्लैप्ड क्रेमलिन एलिट्स. ओके, दे ऑल्सो स्लैप्ड क्रेमलिन एलिट्स. ठीक है, an organization linked to them with a crippling sanctions. The word Kremlin, what is Kremlin? My dear students, please understand, Kremlin refers to a kind of fortified city of Moscow. मॉस्को के अंदर एक फोर्टिफाइड एरिया है, पूरा पैलेस है, उसको क्रेमलिन कहा जाएगा. बट दिस क्रेमलिन इज जनरली यूज टू रेफर टू द गवर्नमेंट अथॉरिटी ऑफ रशिया. It refers to the Russian government. It refers to Vladimir Putin. Just like when we talk about New Delhi is not agreeing to what America is doing. So what does that mean? It means the government of India is not agreeing to that. Okay? I hope you are very clear on this. Is that very comfortable? Very good. So it is not only slapped the you can say kind of sanctions on Kremlin but also condemned Russia's aggression. ये दोनों चीज उन्होंने किया. Is that okay? Great. India, contrarily, so they are not on the same page. ठीक है, we are not on the same page. क्यों? क्योंकि उन्होंने कंडेम किया और सैंक्शन लगाया, इंडिया ने न कंडेम किया. ठीक है, in fact we have abstained. Abstain करना that means दूर रहना, कोई पर्टिकुलर चीज से दूर रहना. ठीक है, you abstain from taking liquor, you abstain from taking weeds, you abstained from doing wrong thing. Okay, that is the meaning of abstain. India contrarily abstained from UN resolution condemning Russia. ठीक है, and that too 3, you can say UN resolution. My dear students, please tell me which are those 3 resolutions on which India abstained in United Nations. Please tell me, put that into comment box. That's very important. Search it, okay, on the Google, do some research and tell me and help other students that what is the idea where, which are the 3 resolutions where India abstained. Okay, is that comfortable? Great. There is also considerable difference on the Russian-Ukraine issues in terms of individual readouts. So in the Quad member, so all 4 of them gave different, you can say, readout. So there was a joint statement. जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट के अलावा एक इंडिविजुअल स्टेटमेंट बोलते हैं जहां पर रीड आउट करते हैं, उसके बारे में बात हो रही है. वाइल यूएसए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड जापान डायरेक्टली कॉल्ड आउट रशियाज अटेम्प्ट to unilaterally force changes to the status quo in Ukraine. So they have, you can say, called out का मतलब खुलेआम publicly बोलना. ठीक है, they said that this is not acceptable. They directly called out. Calling out is publicly affront करना, बुरा बोलना that they are not doing good. ठीक है, so when you are in a school, okay, and teacher calls out your name, what does that mean? आपने कुछ पक्का पंगा किया होगा. Yes or no? That is the meaning to call out. Is that okay? समझ में आ रहा है सबको? Great. So I'm sure सब लोगों के इमेजिनेशन में बातें चालू हो गई होगी कि yes, कभी मुझे टीचर ने कॉल आउट किया था क्या. ठीक है, आई रिमेंबर. ठीक है, टीचर कॉल्ड मी आउट. ठीक है, व्हेन आई माइट हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग. सो व्हेन आई, यू कैन से, कमिटेड सम मिस्टेक इन द पेपर, in the examination paper, which was a very silly mistake which I committed, teacher called my name out. Okay, is that very comfortable? Yes. ठीक है, so Russia's attempt to unilaterally force changes to the status quo. Status quo का मतलब होता है जैसा है वैसा रहने देना. आई एम श्योर यू नो, इन इंडिया जब बाबरी मस्जिद का बड़ा हल्ला हो रहा था, ठीक है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जजमेंट दिया था दैट मेंटेन स्टेटस को अंटिल वी गिव अ जजमेंट. सो दे गिव जजमेंट बाय सम अराउंड 2000 एंड यू कैन से 19. ठीक है, 2019 में जब उन्होंने अपना जजमेंट दिया, उसके पहले 1992 से 2019 तक इट वाज अ स्टेटस को व्हिच वाज मेंटेन. ठीक है, सो दैट इज एनवाउड नॉट टू लेट the action occur anywhere in the Indo-Pacific region, and they have vowed that means committed themselves, taken a vow, giving a promise. What is the promise they offered? That in Indo-Pacific region such kind of thing will not take place. That is what they are saying. India's readout only referred Ukraine in the passing. So when we gave readout, we did not mention in a great detail about Ukraine. We just referred it in a passing. So बस ऊपर से बोल दिया in the context of establishing new humanitarian assistance and disaster relief mechanism for this cause, कि अगर उनको दिक्कत हुई, we are ready to give humanitarian assistance. Disaster relief mechanism is what we are ready to do. That is what we said. Okay, that is what we said. So the first paragraph of this editorial establishes one very important part, that it tells us, look, India has abstained from, you can say, this 3 United Nations resolve. Yes or no? That is number 1. Other 3 Quad members are basically condemning, they are not only condemning Russia, but they are also putting a lot of crippling sanctions. Sanction लगाना मतलब उनके ऊपर कुछ कंडीशंस थोप देना ताकि वो अपनी इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी ना करे. वर्ड यूज करा गया क्रिपलिंग का मतलब है उनको तोड़ देने वाला. अगर आपके ऊपर भारी भरकम सैंक्शन लगा दिया जाए तो आप धीरे धीरे अंदर से टूट जाओगे. उसके बारे में बात हुई. ठीक है, इंडिया ने कहीं पे भी रशिया के खिलाफ कुछ बोलने की कोशिश नहीं करी. 3 मेंबर ऑफ कॉड आर फोर्सिंग इंडिया टू डू इट, बट इंडिया कैन नॉट. पैसेज, ये पैसेज के अंदर क्या क्या हमने देखा. Question can be raised on this paragraph could be, what are the main reasons for action, or what is the goal of the COD? Please tell me what is the answer. Okay, tell me what is the goal of the COD. Okay, not this recent COD meeting, but in general COD formation. Number one, okay, what was the motivation of the COD meeting? So this is about what is a recent meeting which took place, what is the reason for it. Please once again tell me. Okay, question number 1, this is question number 2. Okay, write down that answer in the comment box. Is India on the same page with the other 3 members of COD with respect to Russian invasion? The answer is clear cut. No, India is not on the same page. Why? One is we have abstained on 3 resolutions. Please tell me which are those 3 resolutions in UN. That is number 1. And we also made a kind of readout. Our readout is not clearly mentioning about anything to condemn Russia. Okay. What is the view of India with respect to Russia-Ukraine issue? Okay. Are we looking through an humanitarian basis, or are we in favor of Russia, or are we against Ukraine? Please tell me what is the answer to question number 4. Is that comfortable? Great. Okay. So these are the kind of words we understood here. Okay. Look at the word coercion. Okay. The latest COD. We are not condemning explicitly. We are not on the same page. Okay. ये सब बातें होगी. Russia's action, now this is a second paragraph. Now this is going to come to very near to the main point. Russia's action has obviously posed complex questions for India's strategic calculus. So whatever Russia has done in Ukraine, it is questioning our strategic calculus. Yes or no? On what ground we are taking certain stands. Okay. Even New Delhi, so just like Kremlin argues, so here New Delhi continues. So that is about union government, continues to be guided. So India is guided by 21st century variant of its non-alignment paradigm. Remember, when in 1947, okay, when we became independent, okay, during that time, 1944, when the World War II ended and the all world countries were being forced to either join with America or with Russia, because these were the two bipolar, you can say, world was getting formed. These are the two countries becoming very powerful. Okay, okay. So people were forced either to join America or they were forced to join Russia. We remain non-aligned. Along with us, we have Indonesia, we have Egypt. Okay, these are the few countries joined with us to remain non-aligned. We said we are not with America, we are not with, you can say, Russia, we are non-aligned, we are working with the world. We are not with one superpower. Okay, we are going to work with both of them. That is called non-aligned. So this 21st century, okay, we are non-aligned. Okay, this is very interesting. And by its need to remain close to Moscow, a major defense supplier. So why we are not going against anyone? We remain non-aligned in the past. We are remaining non-aligned today. Number 1. Number 2, we see Moscow, that is Russia, is our biggest defense supplier. So when it is our biggest defense supplier, okay, if we go against them, what will happen to our defense supply? Okay, it will go haywire. Okay, and that is not acceptable for the future of India, because India is going to be very powerful, or it has to become powerful in case in future it has to fight any war with China or Pakistan for that matter. Okay, so that is how the idea is. The South Bloc, just like when they talk about Moscow, Moscow is about Russia's, you can say, capital, just like New Delhi is the capital of India. Okay, when they use Kremlin, here we use South Bloc. Why are we using South Bloc? Because that is where the Prime Minister office is situated. Okay, that is where all decisions are being made. South Bloc is already well versed at the playing hardball, okay, with the Mandarins at the US State Department. So we have played hardball. We became very aggressive in the US Senate, okay, when we wanted to develop, or we wanted to have this CATSA waiver. You may wonder, sir, what is this CATSA? CATSA, the full form says Countering America's adversaries through Sanctions Act. Okay, that is the full form of CARSA. Okay, now that's a law of USA. According to that, Russia, Iran, and North Korea are the adversaries of USA. Why Russia is adversary? Because in 2014, we can say Russia captured Crimea, which was not acceptable by USA by their standard. So they said, ki, okay, Russia is bad, so that's our adversary. Why Iran? Because Iran did not accept the NPT ka, you can say, treaty. They were a member of NPT, still they wanted to develop their nuclear bomb. So thereby they put some restriction on Iran. What about North Korea? North Korea के ऊपर restriction इसलिए because North Korea तो किसी की भी बात नहीं मानता है. So अब इंडिया के ऊपर काटजा का सेंक्शन लग सकता था in case we purchase certain thing from Russia. Anyway, we purchased a lot of defense items from the Russia. One of the defense items we wanted to purchase was Russian Triumph, we can say, missile defense system. Russia की defense missile system was we were interested to purchase at 5.43 billion worth. That's a huge amount. We were going to give to Russia and going to purchase those defense items. We wanted it. Okay, it is also known as S-400 defense missile system. In 400, you can say kilometer range, that is a, you can say a kind of 400 square kilometer area, we are able to manage any kind of defense related support by this missile defense system. Okay, so for us it is very important. Okay, we wanted it. Okay, but America was putting a lot of pressure on us. However, we played hardball there. Okay, we became very aggressive, we remained adamant, we said we are going to go for it, but don't put any kind of sanction, that's our requirement, we are going to do it. This is what the entire idea is being provided. Okay, I hope it's very clear. Great. Well, the discussions on the Ukraine crisis will continue at the Quad and the across other plurilateral platform are very important, okay, which are having pluralism. Many players are coming in it, okay, where India and US work together. Like WTO is a plurilateral platform, okay, United Nations is a multilateral platform or plurilateral platform. That's what you can very well say. However, there is a small difference between plurilateral and multilateral. Okay, if you can tell me what is the difference. Okay, I'm going to talk about this at the end of this, you can say, module, but you should know this. Okay, so we are working together for the greater good of the rule-based international order. The idea that NATO countries or even Russia can force sovereign nation with a proud history of non-alignment to pick a side in a complex geopolitical conflict is quite passé and eminently unviable in today's interdependent global arena. The argument author is making is that not even NATO, not even Russia can force any sovereign nation to shift their ideology. So India remains non-aligned. NATO cannot force India to speak against Russia, or Russia cannot force India to speak in favor of Russia. So those kind of, we can say, force, those kind of coercion is passé, which means outdated, okay, and eminently unviable in today's world when we are interdependent. It is unviable. Why it is unviable? And that too eminently unviable, मतलब खुलेआम है ना, बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंटली अनवायबल हो गया. अनवायबल इसलिए है क्योंकि हम ऐसा अगर करने जाएंगे, इंटरडिपेंडेंट है एक दूसरे के ऊपर, तो हम लोगों की सोवरेनिटी के खिलाफ जा रहे हैं. ठीक है, सो कॉड फॉर एग्जांपल कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू एलियनेट इंडिया. कॉड फोर्स नहीं कर सकता और इंडिया को एलियनेट नहीं कर सकता, इंडिया को दूर नहीं कर सकता. एलियनेट करना इस तो दूर करना, बिकॉज इंडिया इज अ critical partner in the geostrategic plan to balance the rise of China as a potential Asian hegemon. So what is the goal of Quad? Remember, what is the goal of Quad is mentioned here. If that's a question being asked to you in your, you can say, RC, you should know this. Okay, so India is a very strategic partner. Yet, India may find its resolve. So India को कॉड कुछ अलग से फोर्स नहीं कर सकता, पर इंडिया के लिए खुद इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? इंडिया में, क्योंकि यट बोला है, फोर्स कर नहीं सकता है कॉड, पर इंडिया को शायद खुद ही उसका डिसीजन लेना पड़ेगा, शायद ये बात हो सकती है. इज दैट कंफर्टेबल? चलिए ग्रेट. इंडिया में फाइंड इट्स रिजॉल्व एंड पेशेंस विथ रशिया टेस्टेड. ठीक है, इंडिया को अपना जो रिजॉल्व और पेशेंस है वो टेस्ट हो रहा है, रशिया टेस्ट कर रहा है, रशिया उसको परेशान कर रहा है, ऐसा दिख रहा है. कब? Should Russian occupying forces begin committing wartime crime, human rights violation in contravention to Geneva Convention, Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other applicable global treaties. अगर ऐसा रशिया करने लगा, ऐसा रशिया ने ऐसी ग्लोबल ट्रीटीज के खिलाफ जाकर कुछ गलत करने की कोशिश करी, सो इंडिया का रिजॉल्व और पेशेंस विल बी टेस्टेड. पॉसिबली इंडिया विल हैव टू टेक स्ट्रॉन्ग डिसीजंस अगेंस्ट रशिया. ठीक है, so this conclusion says that India, if Russia continues attacking on Ukraine and you can say destroys or violates human rights, it goes against the Geneva Convention or Universal Declaration of Human Rights, then India's resolve and India's patience will be tested and India may possibly speak anything against Russia. That is what the conclusion is. I hope it is very clear. समझ आया दोस्तों? सो दोस्तों ये सेकेंड पैराग्राफ के ऊपर से क्या क्या क्वेश्चन बन सकते हैं? पहला क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, सो एक तरीके से पांचवा क्वेश्चन हो गया. आगे 4 क्वेश्चन पूछे थे. पांचवा क्वेश्चन, इंडियाज करंट स्टैंड एंड यूक्रेन कन्फ्लिक्ट इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन विच फैक्टर्स. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग फैक्टर्स ऑन विच इंडिया का स्टैंड ऑन यूक्रेन इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन इट. आई बिलीव वन इज वी आर नॉन अलाइन. ठीक है, सो वी आर डिपेंडिंग ऑन दिस दैट लुक we have a new you can say system of non-aligned and we are non-aligned since 1950s. We are non-aligned, even today we are non-aligned. That's one factor. Second, we are heavily dependent on, ठीक है, for defense dependency. Okay, we have defense dependency. Okay, defense dependency on Russia. That's why we are not, you can say, going against Russia. These are the two main reasons. Okay, ठीक है. What are the plurilateral platform? As I mentioned, WTO is a plurilateral platform. ठीक है. What is a multilateral platform? So what happens in a multilateral groupism? All members, ठीक है, there are so many members. That's the first thing. There are so many members. They come together, ठीक है, and they say we are one. They have a common agreement. Okay. None of the member can go against it. In plurilateral, the individual member can go, you can say, against certain kind of agreement. Okay, that is possible. Okay, in a plurilateral platform, while in multilateral that is not right. India and USA work jointly for what purpose? The answer to that is rules based international order. Now what do you mean by rules based international order? Possibly the rules which protect sovereignty, which preserve peace, which curb excessive use of power, which enable international trade and investment. That could be a right answer. Yes, rules-based international order also mean this. It also means that the norms that underpin universal human rights, gender equality, rule of law, that's also right. So this word has a lot of meaning. Okay, in examinations, ठीक है, very tough examinations, ठीक है, they try to ask such kind of question. They want to check your interpretation of rules based international order. क्या मतलब होता है वो देखने की कोशिश. ओके, चलिए इसका तो आंसर मैं दे चुका हूँ, इसका भी आंसर दे चुका हूँ. चलिए 6 का आंसर बताइएगा आप. कैन नेटो फोर्स नैम नेशन टू टेक प्रो नेटो और एंटी वॉरशो स्टैंड? ठीक है, प्लीज टेल मी. एंड व्हाट इज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ इंडिया इन कॉड? Why India is very important, why other countries cannot alienate India. Great. So there are total 7 questions which I asked to you. Please put that into comment box. Okay, that's very important. Now we go and talk about important words. ठीक है, so this is very crucial. Words important है. ठीक है, जैसे यहाँ पे हमने देखा sovereignty. What is the meaning of sovereignty? Sovereignty का मतलब होता है supreme power. As I mentioned, हिंदी में उसको कहते हैं संप्रभुता. ओके, सुप्रीम पावर, सुप्रीम ऑथोरिटी, डोमिनियन, सुप्रीमसी, ऑथोरिटी ऑफ अ स्टेट. ओके, दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ लाइक नेशनल सॉवरेंटी. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ऑटोनॉमी बोल सकते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंस बोल सकते हैं, सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट बोल सकते हैं. दैट इज, यू कैन से, द आइडिया. ओके, सो it is coming from a French word called sovereign, फ्रेंच वर्ड सोवरेन, ठीक है, और वहां से ये वर्ड बना सोवरेंटी. ओके, सोवरेंटी इज अ सुप्रीम अथॉरिटी within a territory of a particular government. That is the meaning of this, you can say, sovereignty. Next word is called integrity. ये दोनों वर्ड हमारे प्रियम्बल में लिखे गए हैं. Yes or no? हमारे प्रियम्बल में लिखे गए हैं. We should know this. What is integrity? Integrity means uprightness, honesty, honor. It means quality of being honest and having strong moral principle. That is one meaning. Second meaning is the state of being whole or undivided. That is the meaning of integrity. Unity, unification. So integrity of nation, when we talk about integrity of nation, we are talking about state of being whole. Okay, integrity of an individual person, एक इंडिविजुअल पर्सन की इंटीग्रिटी के बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं, सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑनेस्टी ऑफ दैट इंडिविजुअल पर्सन. I hope it is very clear. Great. So it comes from a word called integer. That's a Latin word. Integer means intact. Okay? ठीक है, वहां से फ्रेंच में और इंग्लिश में वर्ड निकला इंटीग्रिटी. सो दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड वी शुड नो. ओके, सो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इंटीग्रिटी? इंटीग्रिटी का मतलब होता है कंडीशन ऑफ बीइंग यूनिफाइड, कंडीशन ऑफ बीइंग साउंड, ओके, कंडीशन ऑफ बीइंग इंटरनली कंसिस्टेंट. ओके, that's very important. Another word is coercion. Coercion is force, practicing or persuading someone to agree to do something, or to, you can say, force him not to do something, but that too by use of force, by use of threat, by immediate force. Compulsion, constrain करना. मजेदार सा वर्ड है duress. गुड वर्ड है duress. ध्यान रखिएगा. If you agree on duress, you are not giving free consent. दोस्तों, कोई भी अग्रीमेंट के अंदर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट क्या है? फ्री कंसेंट. आदमी फ्रीली कोई चीज मानना चाहिए. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड, यू कैन से, फ्री कंसेंट. और अगर फ्री कंसेंट नहीं मिला, हम बोलेंगे ही अग्रीड अंडर ड्यूरेस. इज दैट कंफर्टेबल? ग्रेट. ऑपरेशन बोला जाएगा, एनफोर्समेंट बोला जाएगा. यस नो? लुक एट दिस इंटरेस्टिंग ग्राफ. ठीक है, 1800 से ये वर्ड चला आ रहा है. ठीक है, ये 2000 मतलब समराउंड, you can say this, you can say 1925 के बाद ये वर्ड के बारे में काफ़ी ज़्यादा लोग डिस्कशन करने लगे और अभी उसका काफ़ी ज़्यादा यूज हुआ है. सो दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, कंडेम करना, टू कंडेम समवन. ठीक है, दैट इज टू एक्सप्रेस कंप्लीट डिसअप्रूवल. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड. ठीक है, क्या वर्ड है उसके साथ? सेंश्योर करना. वर्ड ध्यान रखें, दिस इज नॉट सेंसर. Okay, this is not censor, this is not cynosure. Okay, this is not cynosure. Okay, what is censure? Censure का मतलब होता है क्रिटिसाइज करना, कंप्लीट डिसअप्रूवल देना. ठीक है, कास्टिगेट करना, अटैक करना, डिनाउंस करना, डिक्राई करना, डिप्लोर करना. दैट इज सेंश्योर, डांट लगाना. ओके, उसके सिमिलर वर्ड बन सकते हैं रेप्रिमांड, रिब्यूक. Okay, these are the word. Censor is to edit. Censor is to edit. कोई चीज काट लेना, कोई गलत पार्ट है उसको काट लेना. Okay, so we are not talking about censor. We are not talking about cynosure. Cynosure is a focal point, main attraction point. Okay, that is a cynosure. He is cynosure of a party. What does that mean? He is the focal point of the party. Everyone against goes by it. Okay, anyway, so what is condemn करना? To express complete, you can say, disapproval. The word came from a Latin word called damnane or damnare. Damnare का मतलब होता है to inflict a loss. To inflict a loss. और यहाँ पे वर्ड आया condemn. Condemn करना मतलब उसको साथ में, मतलब लॉस भी लगाना और उसको ना भी बोलना. ठीक है, condemn करना, which is a sentence to punish someone. Okay, that is condemn करना. Is that comfortable? ठीक है, so that is called condemnation. Very interesting word. Next word is called, that's an idiom called on the same page. Was India on the same page with the other three members of Quad? Obviously the answer is no. So what is on the same page? Agreeing about something. Okay, so you and I agree on doing something, that is called we are on the same page. Okay, paradigm. What is the meaning of paradigm? Paradigm is a typical example of something, some pattern, some model. Okay, so it's a non-alignment movement का paradigm. So it is a perfect example of it. It is a model, it is a pattern, it is an example, it is a standard, it is a prototype. Okay, remember this is very important. Okay, this came from a Greek word. Okay, that is para means you can say beside, and another word called you can say diacunal. ओके सो वहां से वर्ड आया पैराडाइग्मा और पैराडाइम. 15th सेंचुरी में ये वर्ड बन गया एंड इट बिकेम पैराडाइम. ओके सो लिंग्विस्टिक अगर बोला जाए सो पैराडाइम का मतलब हो गया कि वी आर गिविंग a kind of new genre. We are talking about a new method. That is what we are looking at. That is called paradigm. Is that okay? Very good. ठीक है. Next word is called play hardball. Now is that a metaphor? Yes. Play hardball or hardball, it's called metaphor. Now why it is called metaphor? दोस्तों metaphor इसलिए क्योंकि वो figuratively use हुआ. फिगरेटिवली कैसे यूज हुआ? यू आर नॉट फिजिकली प्लेइंग विद द हार्ड बॉल. ऑब्वियसली इनिशियली इट केम विद दैट बेसबॉल में जब आदमी सॉफ्ट की जगह पे हार्ड बॉल डालने लगा. ठीक है, तो वहां से ये वर्ड चालू हुआ. इट सेज बिहेव एग्रेसिवली एंड कॉम्पिटिटिवली और टू एक्ट रूथलेसली. इंडिया प्लेड हार्ड बॉल, ठीक है, विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू काटसा. यस और नो? आपको याद है? यस, दैट इज व्हाट वी डिस्कस्ड. ठीक है. अनदर वर्ड इज कॉल्ड पासे. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड. पासे का मतलब होता है आउट ऑफ डेट, आउटडेटेड, अनफैशनेबल. ठीक है, सो दैट इज नो लॉन्गर फैशनेबल, आउट ऑफ डेट. ओके, दैट इज पासे. एक और वर्ड आता है ऐसा, इम्पासे. प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस. ओके, चलिए बहुत अच्छी बात है, आगे देखते हैं दोस्तों. अनवायबल होना. अनवायबल होना मतलब नॉट केपेबल ऑफ, नॉट वर्केबल. ठीक है, नॉट फिजिबल, नॉट सक्सेसफुल. ठीक है, सो वॉट एवर द प्लान यू मेड इज लेट्स से फाइनेंशियली अनवायबल. इट इज फाइनेंशियली नॉट पॉसिबल टू बी अप्लाइड. एलियनेट करना किसी को, एलियनेट करना इज टू आइसोलेट करना. ठीक है, ओके, किसी को एस्ट्रेंज कर देना. मजेदार सा वर्ड है एस्ट्रेंज. ओके, ठीक है, उसको अलग कर देना, आइसोलेट कर देना. ओके, आइसोलेट कर देना, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड. ठीक है, लॉ के द्वारा अगर हम किसी को एलियनेट करते हैं तो उसके अपने अधिकार हम उसको दे नहीं रहे. ओके, सो वी आर एलियनेटिंग समवन, सो दैट इज वी आर मेकिंग हिम एलियन. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाट द आइडिया इज. इज दैट कंफर्टेबल? हेजेमन. हेजेमन इज समवन हु इज वेरी एग्रेसिव. वहां से वर्ड निकला हेजेमनी. हेजेमनी का मतलब होता है पॉलिटिकल एंड इकोनॉमिक एंड मिलिटरी सुप्रीमेसी दिखाना, प्रीडोमिनेंस दिखाना. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, अमेरिका हैज शोन देयर हेजेमनी सो बाय कोका कोलाइजेशन एंड मैकडोनाल्डाइजेशन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. Okay, by doing this they are showing their hegemony. Today China is showing their hegemony. Yes or no? By what way they are showing hegemony? Please put that into comment box and tell me that in what way China is showing their hegemony. My dear students, it is important for you to, you can say, do homework. Okay, so when I am giving you such kind of work, ठीक है, आपको क्या समझ में आया, ठीक है, वो जनता को बताइए. जितना ज़्यादा आप पब्लिक को बताएंगे कि आपको क्या पता चला, उतना आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप होगा. अगर आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग में कुछ गलती होगी, कोई ना कोई और बंदा उसको करेक्ट करने की कोशिश करेगा, कमेंट मारेगा. इट विल बी गुड फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. ओके, कॉन्ट्रावेंशन, कॉन्ट्रावेन करना, ब्रीच करना, वायलेट करना, इन्फ्रिंज करना. ठीक है, सो दैट इज कि यहाँ पे हम कोई पर्टिकुलर चीज़ को कॉन्ट्रावेन करते हैं. ठीक है, हम कॉन्ट्रावेंशन ऑफ लॉ जाते हैं तो हम उस लॉ को ब्रीच करते हैं. एन एक्शन विच ऑफेंड्स द लॉ और अ ट्रीटी और अ रूलिंग. आई होप इट इज़ वेरी क्लियर टू एवरीवन. दैट इज कॉल्ड कॉन्ट्रावेंशन. ठीक है, दैट इज वेयर आई थिंक दिस सेशन इज एंडेड. ठीक है दोस्तों, व्हाट डिड वी लर्न? वी लर्न व्हाट इज द मेन आर्ग्यूमेंट ऑफ द पैराग्राफ. ठीक है, दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग वी लर्न. यस और नो? आर्ग्यूमेंट क्या था, किस बैकग्राउंड में इन्होंने बातें करी, इसके साथ हमने वोकैब समझा और उसके साथ हमने कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग इंटरप्रिटेशन क्वेश्चंस को समझने की कोशिश करी. आई होप इट इज वेरी क्लियर टू एवरीवन. सो दोस्तों, आई विल सजेस्ट एवरीवन टू लाइक दिस वीडियो, सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल। आपको ये मॉड्यूल कैसा लगा बताइए। लॉ रिलेटेड ये मॉड्यूल आपके लिए स्पेशल सपोर्ट करेगा, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। अगर आपको ये पसंद आता है, टेल टू लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पीपल टू बी पार्ट ऑफ प्रो टैलेंट। ओके, ठीक है, आप हमें बताइए कि ये सेशन हम आपके लिए कंटिन्यू करें या ना करें। ओके, कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर लिखिएगा। इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी टू नो योर ओपिनियन ऑन दिस। ओके, थैंक यू एंड ऑल द बेस्ट।